Well, hi Geminis, welcome to Universal Guidance Tarot. It is time for your weekly reading. I have shuffled these cards very well. This is a two-part reading. The overall energy of this reading will be the center card in the first part of the reading. So if you feel compelled, please like and subscribe. Otherwise, let's just get started. For Geminis, what can you expect coming up in your life? Geminis, what can you expect? Any advice is always welcome. Geminis. Okay, let's see what we have here. In the order they came out, we're Geminis. I always read these right side up. The way I was taught so many years ago. Okay, we do have extra cards because I knew a lot of them came out. I'm going to need one more card for the second part of the reading. So, Geminis, the overall energy of your reading, the Page of Wands. It's brewing. Something is on your mind, and it's brewing from the bottom of your feet and coming out your mouth. And it has to do with moving forward in life. You're holding on to that staff of fresh starts and new beginnings. So this is the overall energy of your reading. Up here in your highest energy is the King of Wands. This is a mature-minded card. King of Wands is all cards are male or female. But you're holding on to a staff of fresh starts and new beginnings with one hand, and your hand is on your hip with your other hand. This is also fire. So Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius might be strong in your chart or someone else's around this reading. You need to speak up about moving forward. You've got something to declare, or you've got something to say to someone about moving forward because you are ready to go. You are ready to do it. Right next to the King of Wands is the Sun, and there is that fresh start, new beginning. This is my favorite card in the whole deck. The Sun represents a lot of love, a lot of joy, and the fresh starts and new beginnings. And there's a child on the horse. There might be a child involved in this reading someplace. So this is what you want to speak up about. You want a happy, fresh start, a new beginning with lots of love and lots of joy, and you are ready to go for it. You actually have your sword up. I got the Page of Swords next to the Sun. So you're really protecting that idea, that thought. And I think you're really going to stick by it. You're looking, with the sword being up, you're seeking truth, you're seeking clarity. You're not swinging the sword, but you are protecting what it is that you want in life. And it's almost like you're going to, if you have to swing that sword, in order to get what you want, you will, okay? And it's not asking too much. Everyone deserves love and joy in their life. The Queen of Cups is right under the King of Wands and right next to the Page of Wands. So the Queen of Cups is water. Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer might be strong in your chart or someone else's around this reading. Again, mature-minded energy. This is the only cup in the whole deck that has a lid on it. There's little windows all the way around that cup. Inside that cup are answers to love questions. So this is something else that you want to discuss, the love. You know, your feelings, their feelings. You have questions, and you will be seeking answers. So, on the other side of the Page of Wands is the King of Pentacles. Another mature-minded card. You're very mature-minded. You know what you want. You're a hard worker. You have a lot of passion. You carry a lot of love with you. I can see all that just looking down here. And you know what you deserve. And you do deserve to feel the love. You deserve the fresh start, new beginning, if that's what you need to do. I have the King of Pentacles. This is Earth, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. That might be strong in your chart or around this reading. But look at you. You're looking at that pentacle. That's your future. You want something solid. You want something grounded. You might even be looking for a commitment. So you're looking for the right person to share your life with. and you want it to be filled with love and joy. I mean, who doesn't? But you're on it, and you're going to keep your sword up, and you're going to go out and you're going to find it. And I think that's what you're declaring to someone. So if there is someone in your life and you feel like they're not fulfilling you, you're going to have this talk like, well, if you can't do it, guess what? I'm going to go out and do it myself. I'm going to find it. So, and talk about that right under the Queen of Cups, the Eight of Cups. You might have to turn your back on somebody in order to walk towards what you want. You might have to, turn your back on someone that you really care about in order to get the things you want from life. And I think that's going to come up in conversation. I think that's been heavy on your mind, and that's why you need to speak up and speak out. I have the Four of Swords under the Page of Wands and right next to the Eight of Cups. There's a lot of thinking. There's a lot of soul searching, meditation, prayer going on here. Swords are about truth and clarity. And so this is what you're seeking in your quiet times. This was not an easy decision for you because you do have love for someone here. But it's just not fulfilling. It's not going where you want it to go. There are reasons why you need, or you're feeling like you need to move forward with or without someone here. So you speak up. Are they in or are they out? Right? So I have the King of Cups right next to the Four of Swords and under the King of Pentacles. Another mature-minded card. This is water, Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer, just like the Queen of Cups. This person is a soulmate. They love you. Now, whether they act like it or not, I don't know. They do have love for you because I have this soulmate energy that is based on cups, that are based on love. But the energy here, too, of the King of Cups, they're all male or female, is you pulling back your love. And you're pulling back your love for a reason. And you've given this a lot of thought. I just feel like in this reading so far that whoever it is that you love, and they do love you too, I just don't know if they're ready for moving forward. I think that's basically what we're talking about here. You're, going to declare that you're going to have to pull back your love, and that you might have to hold it close until you find the right person to move forward with. If things don't change here, I want to see whether you're on your own or if they're going to go with you. Let's see, for Geminis. There you are, Gemini. We finally got the King of Swords. One more card, please, for Gemini's reading. Whoops. One more card for Gemini's. There we go. All right. So, Nine of Swords. Next to the Page of Swords. Oh, this is such a hard decision for you to make. This is not an easy thing to do, is have this conversation. So these swords of truth and clarity, they just kept going through your mind, these quiet times where you're meditating, praying, or soul searching, on the right thing to do, on the truth of the relationship. You did. You spent a lot of time thinking about this. I have the Seven of Swords next to the Nine of Swords. I think you feel like they're being a bit deceitful, that they're holding back. They're holding something back. Maybe you saw something on their social media that is on your mind, too, that you need to speak up about with the Seven of Swords coming out. But we do have the Wheel of Fortune. And so you're going to be getting away from that Seven of Swords sort of deceitful type energy. The Wheel of Fortune is the universe. And the wheel is turning. And it's almost time to move forward one way or another. And you can feel it. You know it. People can feel the Wheel of Fortune as it's turning. It's will for the better. So in moving forward, fresh start, new beginning, that you know, that you can feel yourself being pulled toward, is for your better. I have the Ace of Pentacles under the Nine of Swords and right next to the King of Pentacles. Yes, it has a lot to do with the groundedness, the security and stability of this relationship. Even though there's a lot of love, it doesn't feel very secure and grounded. So this is what you're seeking. This is what you're up in your head about. Like, where's that commitment? Like, why don't I feel like we're in a partnership? It feels kind of disconnected in a way, and you really need to feel connected to the one that you love. So you're confused. I know you're confused. I got the Queen of Cups, but I got the Seven of Cups too, and this is under that Seven of Swords, and next to the Ace of Pentacles. Um, all this is confusion and love. Look at all those cups, and all those cups have something in them. Now, some of these cups are like you might pick, and then later something comes out, like that snake. You know, you might not have even known the snake was in that cup. But none of these are the right cups, and you're wondering if this is another one of those relationships where it is not the right cup for you. So you do need to speak out. You've got to speak your truth, and it's right next to this King of Swords. This is your card, Gemini. This is Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, and one of those might be strong in someone else's chart too. But this is you, and you have your sword up. This is a sword of truth and clarity. You've given this so much thought, and you're going into self-protection mode. You're like, wait a minute here. I got to enter a new life cycle. I've got to move forward, and you don't want anybody to hold you back. So you're in self-protection mode. And you're in self-protection against possibly of choosing the wrong cup. Well, what I have next to the King of Cups and under the Ace of Pentacles is the Four of Wands. Now, remember I told you this relationship is built on love? Well, the Four of Wands is a very strong soulmate connection. So here we have more of that connection. But there's a lot of love and joy associated with this card, and this is exactly what you were after, okay? It seems it's under the Ace of Pentacles. I feel like this person that you're going to have this conversation with, and whether they want to move forward with you or without you, I think that they are going to want a union of sorts. I think that they are going to offer something to stay in the relationship. This Four of Wands is right next, because this can be a card of marriage. So, and it's right next to the King of Cups, right under the Ace of Pentacles, and it's right next to the Emperor. Okay, you're wondering if, in those Seven of Cups up here, right next to the Emperor, is, whether you've chosen the wrong cup. And this Emperor is right next to the Four of Wands. I think this is the soulmate. I think they have Aries in their chart, or you might have Aries strong in your chart someplace. This is the card for Aries. But the Emperor is very stubborn. The Emperor is very fixed-minded, and it's really hard to get the Emperor to even compromise once they make up their mind. So if they've already made up their mind that there's no way, no how, I'm getting involved in a relationship, or I'm not becoming committed, or I'm not budging from this throne because this is my throne and this or that. They're very stubborn. They're kind of narrow thinking. They don't, like I say, they don't compromise easily. But they're very well liked and respected by others, and they might be a leader in their field. I think this is the soulmate. I think that they've been trying not to commit. And I think you've had it, and you're moving on with or without them. And so once you speak up and you speak out about all this, I think they do come forward with some sort of commitment or something that grounds this relationship, because I think, you've waited. Oh my God. This is right under the King of Swords and next to the Emperor, the Seven of Pentacles. You have waited and waited for this relationship to come to fruition. And it's like it budded, but that's as far as they would let it go. Well, they are faced with a decision to make. And so finally, it's like you're like, I'm moving forward. I can't stop myself. I've got to do this. So really, do you want to come with me? And I think they do want to come with you. I think this is what it's going to take to put a fire under their feet, so that they will see what they're going to lose. So they'll realize that they can't just be the Emperor and be stubborn and up in their head the whole time, because it's going to it's going to break apart. So you need to talk to them about it. But I do think it's going to work out by looking at this reading, but not until after it's talked about. And I mean in a serious way. You've got to, if this is your reading, you're going to reach that point. And, you know, you can feel the universe pulling you along, like you got to move forward. I mean, there's no stopping you. You just one way or another, with or without them. So let's take out a card from the universe. What do they want you to know? Okay, Gemini. Geminis. What do your guardian angels and spirit guides, the universe, the law of attraction, they want you to know? Right there. I attract the essence of whatever pleases me. So I'm going to read this card to you. You can pause and read it anytime you want, but I'm going to read it. Here we go. When you go into your creative workshop, you can begin to assimilate the data that represents your preferences. And as you assimilate the data, that's all this collection that you're doing, all this truth, all this clarity about what you want, you will prepare a picture of self from which you will begin attracting into your experience. So this is what you're doing. You're picturing what you want from life, and this is what you're going to be attracting towards you. And by speaking up, it looks like it will be attracted to you. Okay, so you will prepare a picture of self from which you will begin attracting into your experience the essence of all that has been pleasing you. So, you know, it sounds like by speaking up, speaking your mind here, you're actually going to be attracting the good parts of the relationship, which I feel like this relationship really is good. It's just that they're stubborn and they're not committable, they're not acting available like, and that's got to change, or you're moving forward. And so I think that by speaking up, you will attract just exactly what it is that you want, and here it is, right here. So Geminis, this was your reading. Thank you for watching Universal Guidance Tarot.